you bought your mom a car or something, didn't I see that?
Yeah, bought her what did I buy her? A Camry.
And she was fired up.
Yeah, she well her car got repoed like that day.
Really?
It was on her birthday.
Oh,
So,
man.
I just got back from Vegas. Excuse me, and I was like, well, you know what? It's your birthday. I haven't seen you in a while. I was like, I'll come down and meet you for work. We go to lunch or something. I'll take you to lunch. So I got my fiance, and she drove my truck, and I drove the Camry just to make sure it drove good, and drove it down there. And first thing she said was, "It's paid for?" I was like, "Yeah, it's paid for."
I mean, is there anything better?
No, not at all. It was like, because I mean, I didn't have a steady home growing up, so just to be able to, give her something that she ain't gonna have to worry about anymore, it was one of the best feelings in the world.
I know. I got some relatives that I've been able to just help out a little bit, and that's all money's good for as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
It's cool to buy yourself treats, but that can get you into trouble, I found. That stuff wind up owning you.
Yeah.
But when you can do something for your folks, man, that's cool. They got to be proud of you.
Oh yeah. Mom just always says, I'm just glad you're better off than what we were.
And, to me, it's like I miss my dad for a lot of reasons. He passed away a few years ago, but he was kind of my biggest cheerleader. And it's like, I feel like just a little bit I've been watching you come through this. You have a great attitude, and, you seem to be taking all this in stride and everything, but it's cool to have, for lack of a better way of saying it, somebody to brag to. Somebody, when you do something good, that you can share it with, because sometimes even your wife or girlfriend or your friends, you don't want to, hey, I did this or that.
Like,
you gotta have
got a big head.
But you want to call somebody and tell them because you're excited,
Mm-hmm.
When's the first time you felt like, are there those, is it all the time, is your mom, is she the one, or you?
Honestly, I was actually feeling that last night, man. I was sitting in my car, just came back from downtown watching the Preds game, and like I get depressed a lot because I think a lot and I get down on myself, and so I was talking to my fiance and I just told her, I was like, I never talk about myself, and everybody like tries to congratulate me. I don't show emotion, and it's like, it's cool whenever I can actually talk to you and tell you my accomplishments and not trying to brag about it, but just kind of like, just be excited for a second. It's like, it's cool just actually being able to get that out. So, but then after I do it, I feel like I'm getting a big head or something, and I'm like, man. So you don't know whether, I don't know. It's confusing.
I do know exactly what you're talking about. That's what I say. I miss my dad so much that way, because I could always call him up and go, you ain't going to believe what just happened.
Yeah.
It's just somebody you can share that with that will get more excited than you will,
Yeah.
without judging you, you don't, it's hard to do with your friends. I guess it's hard to explain. So you've got this record with Camilla out. Now, have you met her?
I haven't. I was supposed to meet her when I was recording it through FaceTime, and she ended up doing a photo shoot and was sleeping all day. So,
isn't that funny? I mean, people are probably like, what?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like,
no, you're singing with her.
Yeah, or it's a lot. It's like people said it just hit them out of nowhere. Like they wouldn't expect us to be together.
Yeah, was that your idea?
It wasn't. It wasn't. Like I really wanted her to be on my record, and they ended up reaching out with hers. It was kind of like her push week to #1, and so I wasn't gonna turn it down. I was like, yeah. So,
but this is a crazy record for you to sing on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just so you want to do this, and then you get this track, which is just crazy cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your first thoughts like, oh, I can kill this?
It was funny because I did think I could, because she sings so high. So for me, I was like, oh, I'm just going to be able to sing low, and, so honestly, the first time we recorded it, they ended up sending it back and was like, we need a little more emotion. So I did it the second time, and it was crazy with my schedule. So we did it, and I listened to both versions, and I realized, I was like, wow, that completely sounds different now that I did what they told me to do. So it came back, and I was happy with the project. It's a lot very different from like recording my record. So
I have a hard time sometimes with people telling me what to do, especially how to sing.
yeah,
And this wasn't really somebody that you knew, was it? Who's
no,
came
it was
in
the first time I
to
met him.
produce, like a vocal producer. I think I read somewhere that did
Yeah.
it. And so, but you took that all in stride and go, I'm going to try and do it this way, or did it really feel weird to you?
Oh, it felt extremely weird, but I'm huge on learning. And so for him to come in, the dude had great energy. He was a good guy, and he was very
Cool.
motivating. So if it would have been somebody coming in and I did something wrong and they'd have been yelling at me, then I might have, got a little feisty. But he was
Uptight
cool.
or something, yeah.
He'd tell you to do something, and even if you know that you didn't get it, he would be like, "That was great, man. Like 5 more times, a little better." And so it was like, okay, and yeah,
Probably gave you the feeling that it was working.
yeah,
And kind of inspired you.
Yeah,
Well,
inspired
good
you.
coaches like that, and you're an athlete, so
yeah,
when you got somebody telling you to do something, and all of a sudden you start hitting the ball better, you're like, oh yeah,
yeah.
this
I
is
should
working.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, you're promoting this record. You got your own single now, Heaven. Did you co-write this song?
Man, I missed out on a great opportunity.
Really?
Yeah. We had a writers retreat out at Catino's house. I don't know if you know Jim Catino.
Oh, sure.
And so I'm writing upstairs. I'm writing a song for my fiance called "What's Mine Is Yours." It was like, when you have your baby songs, like that was my baby for my baby. And so I hear this song coming down from downstairs, and I said, I'm gonna take a break real quick. I'm gonna go check this song out. I went downstairs. They had just wrote the first verse and the chorus, and they were like, "Do you want to hop in and write the second song or second verse with us?" And I was like, "No, y'all are killing it. Y'all are doing so good right now. I love this song." I was like, "But I'm gonna go finish my song," because I thought my song was gonna be that one. And so
That's pretty good what y'all are doing, but yeah, keep it up, guys. And
yeah,
I got something happening up here.
I went back upstairs, and now I wish I'd have stayed.
How'd your song turn out?
I love my song.
Yeah.
My song actually,
It's better than theirs.
for my fiance, it is. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's a neat song, and I think for fans that hear songs, I mean, Heaven, this is a theme that, for those of us that spent 10 years writing songs for a living,
Yeah.
you write this song all the time. I mean, and they're also, I mean, it's like people that maybe write 1 or 2 songs in their songwriting career go, oh man, I wrote a song just like that. It's like, I know everybody, right? Your Heaven on Earth is it's a common theme, but it feels really fresh, and you sing it good. And so are you tired of people asking you why you and Alaina broke up? And
No, I knew it was gonna go around, but it's like, what you need people talking about you. So, and my fiance, I brought her to the rehearsal, and I told him, I was like, babe, they want us close together for this ending. So she already knew. If she wouldn't have known, then I'd
be in trouble.
Yeah, my hind end wouldn't be here. So, yeah.
I mean, what a fun story that is. I mean, we all kind of have a way of how we got here, but it's neat to be able to have a buddy like that you can share it with. And
oh yeah,
you guys got to be cheering each other on back and forth across the fence, huh?
Yeah, she's always had a crazy voice and a big personality. Yeah. So it's cool to have somebody from your hometown up here that's going through the same thing. That is somebody that, like we were talking about venting too, like that you do something, you accomplish. It's kind of like I feel like you can, talk to her and she'll congratulate you, but it's also like you're still competing,
right?
And it's go back to that. Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
5 or 6 years ago, I did. I don't even remember where it was. I want to say maybe Pennsylvania or somewhere. I did a thing promoting a record with her. One of those deals where 6 artists get on stools for radio stations.
Oh, yeah.
One acoustic thing
guitar,
like that.
Guitar pull.
Yeah, a guitar pull deal. It's the first time I'd heard her sing, but it's neat when somebody sit next to you, because there's a lot of great magicians in the studio, you know.
Yeah.
But it's fun when you get that many artists lined up. I think like Kelly Pickler was on there too. He's a
Okay.
really good singer. You know, there were 2 or 3 ladies on there, and she really stood out. You know,
Okay.
it's fun to see when somebody does that. And you guys, but y'all were like in high school, and she was kind of singing before you really started doing it.
Yeah. Well, we were in middle school together, and then she was in choir class because she wanted to be. I was kind of thrown in choir class because I had to be. And
How bad a trouble do you have to get in to get put in choir
it was
class?
just, I was the kid that transferred. So they're like, this class is open. So I was like, all right. But yeah, she just had that crazy voice. I remember one day, I didn't like any of the songs that we ever sang in the choir, and then the song "I Can Only Imagine," we just had to learn that, and I ended up loving that song, and that was the one song I started humming, and she heard me, and made me stay after class and sing for my teacher.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I know you've told that story a million times. As you're promoting these records and stuff, are there's just certain questions that I'm so tired of talking about this, besides Lauren Alaina?
Not really, because it's like
Tattoos.
you already got the yeah, that's like the main thing, but you already got the answer for them, so
Yeah.
you don't even got to think really.
Yeah, I know, but doesn't that kind of take the fun out of it? That's what
A little bit.
I mean. You know, just me and Ronnie. You know, it's like, how'd you guys get together? You're just like, well, you know, and you're in that mode. You know, it's kind of a
I feel like with me, because I'm still new to it. It's like I'm so timid on kind of what I do in interviews. Because like it's weird the way I talk in interviews.
yeah.
I don't feel like I talk in public. I feel
Yeah.
like because we're not talking about music or what I do, so it's carrying on conversation. So it's different. I feel like if you ask me different questions regarding music, I feel like sometimes you get a better interview just because you get to know the person.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes it seems like I think people don't necessarily, people talk about producers and how'd you make this record, and what'd you do there? And I think about 80% of the fans are like, what's a producer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think fans really want to know about you.
Yeah.
You know, they want to know what's wrong. You know, it is. They want to know what is it that's bugging, what is it that's going on in your life that's dragging you down. You know, if people are picking at you, it's like, what is it? You know, I mean, fans they care about you.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really care that much about that guitar sound. You got a couple of people that do, but that's what when I visit with people, I try to go there a little bit, because I've found out over the years that it really does matter to them.
Mm-hmm.
I know in meet and greet lines, you got to be catching kids, especially, or
Oh yeah.
people and stuff every night. Probably there's usually 1 or 2 every night that makes you go, wow, this kind of matters.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when they like when I had one girl I brought up on stage, and she just started crying and hugged me and would let me go. It was like, how can you? It's crazy that you like me this much that you won't let go right now, because I don't look at myself like that. So
Yeah.
it's wild, but it's like I must be doing something.
It is. It really does matter to people. Makes you want to do good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, makes you want to just help people.
Yeah. Well, before I let you go, I got to ask you about. I know you you were doing a little radio thing and playing 3 Wooden Crosses. I saw this online, and
Oh, yeah.
Randy Travis came out. I mean, what went through your mind when he walks in the room and you're playing a song? And of course, he's had a stroke, so he's not in the best shape.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was more heartwarming than anything just to know that he came walking through that door no matter what. It's like for him to show his support like that just meant the world to me. And I don't know if he thinks this, but his wife says that I'm like their second son or third son. And so I'm like, that's awesome. I don't know if Randy really believes that or thinks that, but thank you for saying that to me.
Yeah.
Because I love her. She's so sweet, man.
She is.
I could literally say I could take her as a mom.
She's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I had the, how should I say it? I had the honor and the challenge of interviewing him when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really difficult because, like I told him on stage, I go, I know you can't talk, Randy, and I know how frustrating that has to be for you, and I'm going to let your wife help me with this, but I'll try and throw as many yes or no questions as I can so you can just kind of give me some feedback here, pal, and let's do the best we can with this, you know. And I just tried to open it up that way, but it wound up feeling good. It was I was real nervous about it though, because man, what a great singer, and you sing his songs really good. You guys have a timbre and a range that's kind of similar, so I bet you sang more than one of his songs along the way, huh?
Yeah, I sang a couple, but it's not Randy Travis.
Yeah, I know he appreciated it. I appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you having me, bud.
Good to spend a little time, and look forward to cheering you on along the way. Love what you're doing, and
thank you.
And keep up the good work.
Thanks, man.